of driving while under the influence of intoxicants. That charges a gross misdemeanor. The maximum penalty on conviction would be 364 days in jail and or a $5,000 fine. That being said, I'm going to turn to Mr. DeBrio, your attorney, for the entry of a plea on your behalf.
Yes, Your Honor. We will waive formal reading and ask the court to enter a plea of not guilty today.
City requesting any special conditions? Matriotti, plea of not guilty has been entered on your behalf. That preserves your rights. I'll ask your attorney, do you ask for any further advisement of rights?
No, Your Honor, we've reviewed rights.
Stipulation to probable cause for purposes of this hearing only?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Mr. Matriotti, we're going to set a pretrial for, we have available March 14th, March 28th, April 11th.
Mr. Matriotti, any of those dates work better for you?
March 14th.
Okay, let's go with that one, Your Honor.
An attorney.
Actually, Your Honor, I'm going to backtrack on that. That might be a little quick. I'd like to give us a little bit of time to make our way through the case a little bit. How about the later March date?
28th.
Which one?
March 28th.
28th will work, yes.
Matriotti, we're going to set your matter for March 28th, 9 o'clock in the morning. Conditions release are law-abiding behavior. Don't drive unless licensed and insured. No consumption of alcohol at all while you're driving. Stay in touch with your attorney and appear for court as directed. Any question at all? Any objection, Mr. DeBrio, to any condition?
None, Your Honor.
Excuse me. That concludes the matter. There was an earlier filing of the same offense for reasons I don't know why that was, but the first citation will be dismissed.
Okay.
Send yourself a copy of today's order, and Mr. Matriotti, you can get a copy of today's order by going to the window outside the courtroom and to your left. Any questions at all? Good luck to you. We'll see you back here on the 28th.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. The rest of you are here. Let me first say that always take attorney matters first. The private counsel is their clock is running and the meter's running too, and I don't want to run up anybody's bill any further than I have to. Mr. Haverco is here as the public defender. He will represent you for today's hearing. You need to know you have a right to have a lawyer represent you at public expense if you're indigent. And Mr. Haverco is here for that purpose if you require his services or ask for them. Typically, a plea of not guilty is entered at your first appearance. That preserves your rights pending a pretrial, which is a chance for you to discuss your case with your attorney and negotiate a resolution of it if that is possible. Sometimes that is not possible. And in the case that it is not possible, you have a right to a public and speedy jury trial in the county where the offense was alleged to have been committed. If you have any question at all about your rights or the offense itself, ask Mr. Haverco or myself. First matter on the calendar, and I'm going to mispronounce it, I'm sure. Jeevan, no middle initial. Fernanda Sakaran. I apologize for mispronouncing your name. I knew I was going to. How do you pronounce your name? Okay. I thank you. Citation I have alleges that on or about February 16, 2024, you committed the offense of driving while under the influence of intoxicants. Again, that's a gross misdemeanor. The maximum penalty on conviction would be 364 days in jail and or a $5,000 fine. I'm going to appoint Mr. Haverco to enter a plea on your behalf at this time. Mr. Haverco, I'll turn to you.
Problem. I believe my answer.
Well, you've heard some. Okay. I don't have a notice of appearance from anybody. Let's. Didn't realize you had a private attorney. Let's. Good afternoon. There's a Mr. Siago present, but muted.
Working on it, Judge.
Good afternoon, and thank you. Are you the attorney for I have before me, and I'm going to mispronounce his name. I'll ask him to do that.
Given Ananda Sakaran?
Are you representing Mr. Ananda Sakaran?
Yes, I am, Your Honor. Attorney Kelly Seco. And
Identified him by name, advise him of the penalties, and I'll turn at this time to you for the entry of a plea on behalf of the
Judge, at this time, we would waive any formal reading and enter a plea of not guilty.
waive any further advisement of rights,
Yes, Judge, we would. We had a discussion regarding advisement of rights.
stipulate to probable cause for purposes of this hearing only.
Yes, for this hearing only.
Pretrial dates are March 14th, 28th, April 11th.
If we could do the 28th.
We certainly can. 9 o'clock, we have private counsel matters at 9.
That's great, Your Honor. And does my client need to appear as well, or may I appear for him?
You can appear for him, as long as you're in touch with him. I don't insist on a defendant appearing in person.
And would he be able to appear via Zoom if he wanted to do that?
Prefer defendant to be here in person. You can appear by Zoom, but I prefer a in-person appearance by your client.
Okay, thank you.
Conditions of release are don't drive unless licensed and insured, don't drink and drive at all. Any officer asks you to take a breathalyzer, stay in touch with your attorney and appear for court as directed. Any objection to any condition?
We have none.
I will sign an order resetting the matter for a pretrial on March 28th. We'll send you, Ms. Siago, we'll send you a copy of today's order, as well as your client will be able to pick up a copy of that before he leaves today.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Is my notice of appearance in the court file?
We started without you because we don't have it on file yet, but I assume it's en route somewhere.
I thought I had done it, but I may have to do it again.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
Problem. Thank you, man. Take care. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, I'll call.
But I've signed today's order. Go ahead and pick up a copy of that at the window. See you back here next month. Kevin Bingaman, and excuse me. Kevin Bingaman in the courtroom. Good afternoon, sir. Is your full name Kevin Porter Bingaman?
Yes.
You're here for arraignment on the January 29th, 2024 charge of theft of vehicle fuel. That third is a gross misdemeanor. The maximum penalty on conviction would be 364 days in jail and or $5,000 fine. You're also cited for NVOL, no valid operator's license without identification, failure to transfer title within 45 days. Those are simple misdemeanors. The maximum penalty for those would be 90 days in jail and or a $1,000 fine. You're also cited for hit and run attended vehicle. That's a gross misdemeanor. The maximum penalty on conviction would be 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. You're also cited on February 25th with no valid operator's license without identification. Again, to repeat myself, that's a simple misdemeanor. The maximum penalty on conviction would be 90 days in jail and or a $1,000 fine. You are also, I believe, cited yesterday for a just filed by the police department a citation for criminal trespass, second degree. Simple misdemeanor, the maximum penalty, 90 days in jail and or a $1,000 fine. Date of violation, February 28th, that would be yesterday. You were originally scheduled for March 14th, but we may as well deal with that today. I'm going to appoint Mr. Abaco to represent you in all these matters. He'll enter a pleas on your behalf at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would stipulate the probable cause in all matters as the court can or not guilty, please. Yeah.
Bingaman, that's 4 different citations on 4 different days. Now, a condition of release, I'm gonna make this as clear as I can, law-abiding behavior. It's important that you keep yourself out of jail while the matter's pending. City asking for anything further? March 14th at 11 o'clock in the morning will be your pretrial. I'm signing the order to that effect now. Conditions of release are also stay in touch with Mr. Havico, appear back in court, Esther. That concludes the matter. Again, Mr. Bingaman, get a copy of today's order at the window, and we'll see you back here on the date of your pretrial. Any questions? Take care. Monique Brady in the courtroom. Good afternoon, ma'am. Full name Monique Angela Brady. Ms. Brady, the citation I have alleges that on or about February 13th, 2024, you committed the offense of theft in the 3rd degree. That's a gross misdemeanor. The maximum penalty on conviction would be 364 days in jail and or a $5,000 fine. I'll appoint Mr. Havico to represent you in this matter. He'll enter a plea on your behalf at this time.
Stipulate the probable cause, Your Honor, as the per tem not guilty plea.
Ms. Brady, a plea of not guilty preserves your rights. We'll set the matter for a pretrial. That'll be April 11th at 11 o'clock. I want you to exchange contact information with Mr. Havico at this time. His contact information will be on today's order. You take care. See you back here in April. Deanna Brass in the courtroom.
I was advised by Mr. Bingaman, and I checked. She's currently in the Thurston County Jail. She anticipates bailing today. She's on a $2,500 hold on a suspended driving 3rd case in district court.
We'll come back to that.
So,
Josh Butler. I do not see. How about Ulysses Castillo? Castillo, come up, have a seat. Good afternoon.
How you doing?
Is that your full name, Ulysses Castillo?
Yeah.
Citation alleges that on or about February 13th, 2024, you committed the offense of theft 3rd degree. It's a gross misdemeanor. The maximum penalty on conviction would be 364 days in jail and or a $5,000 fine. I will appoint Mr. Havico to represent you in this matter. He's going to enter a plea on your behalf at this time.
stipulate the probable cause, Your Honor, as the per tem not guilty plea.
Castillo, that plea preserves your rights. We're going to set the matter for a pretrial. Conditions release in the meantime are stay out of trouble, stay in contact with your attorney, and appear back here in court. And that will be on April 11th at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, 4th.
concludes the hearing, and Mr. Castillo, as soon as you've signed off on that, again, get a copy of today's order at the window outside the courtroom and to your left.
Okay.
Any questions at all?
No, sir.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Justin Davis. Thought I saw Mr. Davis just running. But How about Cynthia Day? Good afternoon, ma'am. Is your full name Cynthia? Excuse me, Day. Citation alleged in honor about February 17th, 2024, you committed the offense of driving a license suspended or revoked, third degree. That's a charge for which the city may well have a motion.
Yep, city moves to amend the charge to no bonus.
Ms. Day, what just happened is this: you were charged with a criminal offense as you walked in. The city has amended the charge to a civil infraction. Civil infraction means no possibility of any jail time, just a fine. If you admit that you didn't have a valid license on your person when you were cited on February 17th, I'll impose a $150 fine, and that'll close the matter. Is there any question about anything I just said?
I understand.
You admit?
Yes.
I'll assess a $150 fine. Now, the question that I have of you is, do you know what you need to do to reinstate your license?
Yeah.
I would make that a priority in life.
Yeah.
The $150 can be paid at the rate of $25 a month starting March 29th. Now, I want you to get your license back. So if there's a problem with, that usually involves money. Problem with doing that and paying the fine, let us know. We'll figure something out.
Thank you.
I want you to get a copy of today's ruling and the disposition, and that you can get at the window outside the courtroom to your left.
Okay, thank you.
This day, good luck.
Thank you.
John Deckard. Good afternoon, sir. Is your full name John Richard Deckard? Mr. Deckard, you also were cited with DWS third degree. That, again, is a criminal offense, and the city may well have a motion in your case as well.
City moves to amend the charge to no bonus.
Now, if you weren't listening, it's no longer a criminal offense, it's a civil infraction. If you admit the infraction, it's a $150 fine. You also have a right to contest the hearing contest the infraction if you don't believe you committed it. Any question about anything I've just said? You admit or deny? $150 is the penalty, payable at $25 a month. Now, do you know what you need to do to reinstate your license? I'd make that a project. Signing an order to that effect. I should say clicking on an order to that effect, which does affix my signature. I want you to get a copy of that at the window outside the courtroom and to your left, and I'm going to wish you the best of luck in reinstating your license. Okay, any questions? Good luck.
Yeah.
Dakota Galvin. Again, Dakota Ruby Angelique Galvin. Does not respond. How about Dorino Graves? Good afternoon, Mr. Graves. For the record, is your full name Dorino, middle initials O.L.? Graves. Citation alleges in honor about February 16th, 2024, you violated the terms and conditions of an order of protection. That's a gross misdemeanor. The maximum penalty on conviction would be 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. No point, Mr. Haverco, to represent you in this matter. He will enter a plea on your behalf at this time.
Stipulate to probable cause, Your Honor, ask for a 10 or not guilty plea.
Mr. Graves, the plea of not guilty reserves your rights. There's also a motion here as, Graves, the order is currently being prepared. Conditions of release are law of any behavior, and that includes abiding by the terms and conditions of any no contact order, okay? Trial April 11th, 2024. Graves, that concludes the matter once again. I want you to get a copy of today's order, and that could be at the window. Free to leave. In that matter, there's a motion. I can hear that now. Who do you wish to speak for the applicant, or usually it's your motion? It would be up to you to bring it, to tell me what you want.
I'm just trying to see how can I go by getting my own personal trainer or job?
So do you have any input in this matter at all? That's I think before I change any restraining order, what I want to hear is, has there been any treatment? Has there been any evaluation? Has there been anything done in the meantime, except an alleged violation of the?
I had called the CMAR because he, to see about getting him therapy, all of that kind of stuff done. And I haven't been able to get in contact with him to let him know about the therapy, but he was doing therapy before. He had stopped because they was gonna try to find him another worker. So they're supposed to be doing that. And I think he just needs a little bit of counseling. I mean, he's not a bad person. He's been through a lot as well as I have, but if the restraining order, we won't be back in here. We're both, well, I'm in therapy as well. I see a therapist, but just like
Until I get some assurance from the counselor that as to your safety, that is my concern here is safety. And I'm not an expert in the field, but I've been involved in so many cases involving allegations of domestic violence that it's so important to proceed with caution. I'm not going to grant the motion at this time until I hear a little bit more from that. Don't give up on that, but you take care of yourself, and we'll simply hold the motion. I'm not granting it at this time, so then I'm not denying it either. Let's just hold that open until we know a little bit more about the situation. Is that going to work? Good luck to you.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Heather Hill, or Heather Hill. Richard Metzinger. Trevor Miller. Michael Morfitt. Good afternoon, sir. Full name Michael Cameron Morfitt. Yes, sir. Citation alleges in honor about February 13th, 2024. You committed the offense of theft, third degree, gross misdemeanor. The maximum penalty on conviction would be 364 days in jail and or a $5,000 fine. I see you're a co-defendant in another case. I will appoint Mr. Havergo to represent you in this case. Should a conflict of interest arise, we'll address that at a later hearing. Mr. Havergo,
Stipulate to probable cause, Your Honor, ask the court to enter not guilty plea.
Mr. Morfitt, a plea of 253-209-99. Morfitt, that concludes the hearing. Again, get a copy of today's order. Stay in touch with Mr. Haverco, and we'll see you back here.
All right, have a good rest of your day.
You take care. You as well. Albert Nabalta does not answer. I may have mispronounced that. Nabalta. How about Glade Paulson? Good afternoon, sir. Full name Glade, middle initial M, Paulson.
Yes.
Citation alleges in honor about February 20th, 2024. You committed the offense of driving while license suspended or revoked in the third degree. And again, in your case, the city may have a motion.
City amendment for no bonds.
You may have been paying attention earlier, but what just happened is this. It's no longer a criminal charge, it's a civil infraction. No jail time is possible. If you admit the infraction, I'm going to assess 150. If you deny that you committed the infraction, we can set it for a contested hearing at a later date. Any question about anything I just said? What would you like to do, admit or deny? Admit or deny? Paulson, by now you know the penalty is a $150 fine. Oh, payable at $25 a month. You know what you need to do to reinstate your license? I would go to the Department of Licensing and I'd ask them. We live in a world where it's pretty much impossible to function without being able to drive. So I would look into that and do what you need to do. If it's at all possible, it usually is. Get your license reinstated, okay? Now the 150 I'm assessing today can be paid at $25 a month. Now I want you to get a copy of today's order at the window outside the courtroom and to your left. Any questions at all? Mr. Paulson, good luck to you. Thank you. How about Leland Peters? Good afternoon, sir. Full name Leland, middle initial E, Peters.
Correct.
Mr. Peters, you were cited for the offense of assault in the fourth degree, domestic violence, alleged to have been committed on February 14th, 2024, within the city of Yelm here. It's a gross misdemeanor. The maximum penalty on conviction would be 364 days in jail and or a $5,000 fine. I'm going to appoint Mr. Haverco to represent you in this matter, and he's going to enter a plea on your behalf at this time.
Stipulate probable cause, enter a guilty plea.
Plea of not guilty has been entered on your behalf. Mr. Peters, that reserves your rights, and if I might say so, you appear to be doing much, much better than the last time I tried to talk to you while you were in custody at the Nisqually jail. You've got a situation here where it's a very resolvable one, but I want you to talk to Mr. Haverco. He's going to be your attorney in this matter at length about what you need to do, okay?
Before you go, stop by, quick window. Great.
Peters, I'm going to wish you the best of luck. You take care of yourself. Any conditions of release earlier set. The most important is law-abiding behavior. Let's let the situation be peaceful, and we'll see you back here on April 11th at 11 o'clock. Get a copy of today's order at the window outside the courtroom and to your left. Good luck to you. Marge Rowley. How about Jose Sarabia Bautista? Good afternoon, sir. Is that your full name? Jose Filiberto Sarabia Bautista? If I mispronounce your name, and I'm prone to do that, I apologize. Citation alleges that on or about February 12th, 2024, you committed the offense of reckless driving, gross misdemeanor. The maximum penalty on conviction would be 364 days in jail and or a $5,000 fine. Now, that's not going to happen, but I'm required to advise you of that. I'm going to appoint Mr. Haverco to represent you. He's going to enter a plea on your behalf at this time.
Stipulate probable cause, Your Honor, a court or not guilty plea.
Mr. Rovia, plea of not guilty preserves your rights and the presumption of innocence in this case. You were also cited for a couple of infractions, violating an instruction permit and failure to have insurance. We'll counter those right along with the criminal offense. And we're going to set this for a pretrial. In the meantime, give Mr. Haverco your contact information. The order I'm going to sign electronically will have his contact information on. April 11th, 11 o'clock is your next court date. And finally, signing an order to that effect. Please get a copy of today's order at the window outside the courtroom and to your left. Stay in touch with Mr. Haverco, and we'll see you back here in April, okay? Any questions at all? April 11th, 11 o'clock, and that's going to be on the order. Good. With that, you're free to leave as long, yeah, get a copy of the order, okay?
You're free to go.
Yes. Any questions at all? Amber Simpson? Good afternoon, ma'am. Now, you're probably going to hear me repeat myself a little bit here. You were cited with driving license suspended, revoked, 3rd degree. That's something we see a lot of. That's city may have a motion in your case as well.
Yep. City moves to amend with no ball in the second degree.
It's no longer criminal. It's now civil. It's no valid operator's license. 2nd degree. If you admit the infraction, it's a $150 fine. If you have any questions, now's the time to ask me. You can always deny that you committed the infraction and ask for a hearing. Do you know what you need to do to take care of your license? I would make that a project in that time of year, right? Fine is $150, and you can pay that at $25 a month. First payment due at the end of March. March 29th. If you have a problem making the payments, please let us know, okay? Good luck to you. Take care. Get a copy of the order at the window. Charles Smith. Good afternoon, sir. Full name Charles Henry Smith. Citation alleges that on or about February 18th, 2024, you committed the offense of assault in the 4th degree, domestic violence. That is a gross misdemeanor. Are you hearing me okay?
Yes.
That's a gross misdemeanor. The maximum penalty on conviction to be 364 days in jail and or a $5,000 fine. I'm going to have Mr. Haverco enter a plea on your behalf at this time, and he'll be your attorney if you're indigent.
And actually, before a please entered, Your Honor, city's moving to dismiss this matter.
Well, we're not even going to get that far. I'm sure, Mr. Smith, you have no objection to simply dismissing the order. With that, with or without prejudice?
Without prejudice, Your Honor.
Without prejudice, and that means if the city reconsiders the matter, they are free to refile the case, in which case you'd be notified. But you're free to leave at this time, and I will, before the day's over, I'll sign a order of dismissal. And if you wish, we can send you a copy of that.
Yes.
Oh, it is. Okay, I should have, hang on a minute here. I'm something of a cyber dinosaur. I could blame the system, but I'm not going to do that. Order of dismissal is signed. Free to get a copy of that at the window outside the courtroom and to your left. And Mr. Smith, good luck. Take care of yourself. Catherine Thompson. Ms. Thompson, good afternoon. It looks like you were cited with the same thing, driving a license suspended or revoked, 3rd degree. That and that only, the city may have a motion in your case as well.
City moves to amend no ball in second degree.
By now, if you've been listening, you probably heard what that means is the charge is no longer criminal, it's civil in nature. If you admit the infraction of no valid operator's license second degree, $150 fine. If you deny it, we can set it for a contested hearing. Any question at all?
And then,
That answers the question. 150 it is. Signing the order. Now, once again, my advice to you is do what you can to get your license reinstated. You get a copy of today's order by going to the window and asking for it. Ms. Thompson, I'm going to wish you the best of luck. Take care of yourself. How about Alexandra Whitebloom? Does not answer. I still have people in the courtroom. Last name? Dakota Galvin. Come on up and have a seat. Full name Dakota Ruby Angelique Galvin. Ms. Galvin, the citation I have for you alleges that on or about February 2nd, you committed the offense of theft third degree. Gross misdemeanor, the maximum penalty and conviction, 364 days in jail and or a $5,000 fine. I'm going to appoint Mr. Haverco to represent you. He'll enter a plea on your behalf at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor. Stipulate to probable cause that are not guilty, please.
Ms. Galvin, a plea of not guilty preserves your rights.
Yeah.
Pending a pretrial for April 11th. Conditions of release are stay out of trouble, no law violation. Stay in touch with Mr. Haverco and appear back here on, okay? I've signed an order resetting your hearing. I want you to get a copy of that at the window outside the courtroom and to your left. Anything further, Mr. Haverco?
Before you go. Can you sign the order, please? We'll get a copy of the paper from the clerk before you go.
Thank you, Ms. Galvin. Ma'am, that's, you're there in the front row. Your name, please, your last name?
Caden Long.
Ms. Long, your hearing was set for this morning at 9:45.
Caden, you want to come out?
Well, then, Kate Nicole Long. The new citation I have alleges that on or about February 15th, 2023, you committed the offense of assault in the fourth degree domestic violence. That's a gross misdemeanor. The maximum penalty on a conviction would be 364 days in jail and or a $5,000 fine. I'll appoint Mr. Haverco to represent you. He's going to enter a plea on your behalf at this time.
Stipulate to probable cause as the court can or not guilty, please.
Plea of not guilty has been entered. We're going to set the matter for a pretrial. Because you didn't appear this morning, I had ordered a warrant for your arrest. That won't go out now, but it's pretty important that you show up for court on time. Yes, we have. That's
Do you have a cell phone or phone number or anything?
yeah.
Long you were also on one of these stipulated orders of continuance. We'll reset that for, the same date as your pretrial on the new charge, which that'll be April 11th. Now, you're gonna get a copy of today's order.
It's all just one charge you're talking.
You're here for arraignment on one charge, but you also have another charge that's, it's on a stipulated order of continuance. Well, you can talk to Mr. Haverco about that.
We'll talk about later. So before you go, just go to the first window and get a copy of the ticket. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ms. Long, thank you for appearing. Take care. Mr. Davis, I see you wandered in a little bit late,
Sorry, sir.
but you're here. I thought you were here earlier and then left.
I sometimes get a little too worked up, I can't sit down.
And for the record, your name is Justin, middle initial B, Davis.
Yes, Ryan.
Mr. Davis, you're here for arraignment on two different charges. Both criminal trespass, second degree, data violations, February 9th, and then February 3rd. Criminal trespass, second degree is, as you know, it's a misdemeanor. The maximum upon penalty upon conviction would be 90 days and or $1,000 by way of fine. Based on your financial situation, which I'm well aware of, I'm going to appoint Mr. Haverco to represent you in this matter. He's going to enter a plea on your behalf at this time.
Stipulated probable cause, Your Honor, ask the clerk to enter not guilty, please.
We have not guilty. Mr. Davis preserves your rights. Pretrial, April 11th, 2024. Signing an order to that effect at this time.
Sign on this pad. Do you have a phone number all? I don't know.
I did it, it's 5 minutes to shower.
No, for now.
I was gonna make it work, yeah. Yeah. Somehow, you have a bad.
Be important.
I was talking to my buddy. I was going to think about it. I picked him up, yelled at him. I talked to him, like, keep him awake. So it was distracting me. I forgot. I was starting to space time. And out of nowhere, I was like, what's happening? And he told me it's 12:40. I was like, I don't know.
Mr. Davis, that's enough, but need to move on to another hearing, but you take care of yourself. Take good care and we'll see you back here on April 11th.
Sure, I'll be here.
Hey, take care. Stay in touch with Mr. Haverco, and before you leave, get a copy of today's hearing.
I will.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Mr. Sue, come on up.
But if you don't mind, if I can still sit here, that'd be great.
Get out of here. No, Hi. You're here, I believe, on behalf of Catherine Osser. I reviewed the statement. I know what your motion is going to be. Go ahead and make it to the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. Phillips on that.
There is no foundation whatsoever. Motion granted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, with the court's permission, may I please?
Scroll down to that. Sure.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Your Honor, this is, City of Yelm versus
I'll file it, and I will sign an order to that effect. If you want a copy of that for the clientele, you can, I've already signed for Ms. Osser. And if I can navigate my way back to the dashboard, I'll sign one for Ty M as well.
Thank you so much, Your Honor, and I see it on the report office.
Hey, you take care.
Thank you so much.
Sign- Sorry to make you wait, but that's the way it goes. And Mr. Davis is one of our more colorful usual defendants. You take care, have a good day, and take care. Back on record for the 1 o'clock no shows. The first one I have is Deanna Brass. Her co-defendant, Mr. Bingham, did show up. She did not, being in custody elsewhere. Issue a warrant in for dockets number 7, 8, and 9. Probable cause was previously found for both arraignments and the pretrial. 1,000 cash or bond each. Next one I have is Josh Butler. Probable cause was found on him when I released him for court. 1,000 cash or bond. Kind of concerned about Mr. Butler. He used to be a regular, would appear on a regular basis, but Heather Hill, there's a note in the file requesting a reset, not feeling well. Reset that with notice. Next one I have is Mr. Metzinger. Probable cause was found on him when he was released from custody. That's disorderly conduct on Trevor Miller. Probable cause on that for obstructing a public servant. 1,000 cash or bond. That was kind of an unusual case. The next one I have is Albert Nabalta. Docket numbers 25 and 26. Amend docket number 26 to Noval 2 and FTA, and FTA the 2 infractions in docket number 25. Bart Rowley would be the next one I have, docket number 29. Probable cause was previously found when he was released from jail. 1,000 cash or bond. And last would be Alexandra Whiteplume, and yes, probable cause was previously found on her. $1,000 cash or bond. And that is all, unless I missed somebody, that is all the no shows I have, except for Mr. Cassavant. It's now going on 3 o'clock. Simply FTA. And on the earlier neg driving, go ahead and FTA that as well.